Coming up tonight on YCN News, power outages from a snow and ice storm left Vermonters in the dark this Christmas. Tree recycling programs provide an eco-friendly option for getting rid of Christmas trees. And skiing returns to Whaleback Mountain. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Thursday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Some Vermont residents spent Christmas in the dark due to power outages from a snow and ice storm. Regions without power in upstate New York and New Hampshire have been fixed for the most part. Today, Vermont Public Radio reports that about 500 customers of Vermont Electric Cooperative remain without power. Utility crews from neighboring states have worked nearly around the clock to get power restored in homes without electricity. Most of the Vermont power outages are in the northern and northeastern part of the state. Snow continues to fall this afternoon in New Hampshire and Vermont. If you're wondering what to do with your Christmas tree, consider tree recycling. In Hanover, Lebanon, and Claremont, programs are in place to make it easier to be eco-friendly. For Lebanon residents, Christmas trees are ground up and used to make compost. Then, the compost or tree residue is used to make topsoil, the city's website notes. Trees and other holiday recyclable items, including gift wrap and rechargeable batteries, can be dropped off at the city's recycling facility. Lebanon residents should bring their trees, gift wrap, and the like to the transfer site at 370 Plainfield Road, West Lebanon. The phone number to call with questions is 603-298-6486. For Hanover residents, bring your tree to the Hanover Public Works Department at 194 Lebanon Street across from Buck Road. Trees can be brought to the DPW site anytime between the last week of December and the first week of January. Please drop off the tree in the back of the site's yard. Hanover officials ask that all decorations, including tinsel, are removed from the tree. Call 603-643-3327 with any questions. For Claremont residents, Christmas trees, cardboard boxes, and gift wrapping can be recycled on Tuesday and Saturday. Those are the 2 days the recycling center off Newport Road is regularly open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. After the break, we'll learn how skiing is returning to Whaleback Mountain and what YCN's Capital Connections host John O'Connor has to say about this year's top stories.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. A return to skiing at Whaleback Mountain in Enfield, New Hampshire is the hope. This weekend, that wish will become a reality. New Hampshire Public Radio reports that Whaleback will open this weekend. A group of Whaleback supporters brought the One Lift ski area back to life through fundraising. John Schiffman, a Lebanon resident and fundraising leader, says the Whaleback will be run as a not-for-profit entity. The cost of its lift tickets will be family-friendly, he told NHPR. It looks like the rebirth of Whaleback Mountain will be one top story of 2013. Let's hear from YCN's host of Capital Connections, John O'Connor, with his top stories from 2013.
So, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on this side of the aisle, as it were. You know, really, when I looked at the top stories, I thought I really wanted to get stories that I thought were going to affect the state over in our region over a long period of time. And so my first story, when I think about this, was the closing of Vermont Yankee. Obviously, it started in 2013. It may officially be closed in 2014, but they're probably going to, through the safe store process, store nuclear waste there for the foreseeable future. So the story's not going away from that perspective, but also the loss of jobs. There's what, 600 or so people employed there. Some of them will stay for the decommissioning, but they're going to lose, that area of Vermont is going to lose a lot of jobs, and the economic impact of that I think is going to be felt for at least the next year or two after it closes, and maybe longer, depending upon the backfill. And one of the other things that I think is also interesting is the amount of baseline power that's going to be taken out. Vermont Yankee is Vermont's largest power producer. So for domestic power, that power is going to be taken out of Vermont, out of the grid, out of New Hampshire, and it's got to be filled with something. And one of the interesting permutations of this may be, it actually may, and I'm speculating here, but when that power goes, what's going to fill it? Well, right now in the wings is Northern Pass. And that's baseline power coming in from Hydro-Quebec, as I understand it. So that story really, I think, is going to play out in a number of ways, not the least of which is the economic impact. So that's one. There's another little story that I don't think has gotten a lot of attention, and it's the Farm Safety Modernization Act.
Yes.
Okay, so we've done a show on it, Capital Connections, and I really think it affects us because in Vermont and New Hampshire, we have, and especially our region of New Hampshire and Vermont, we have a lot of local small farmers. And even the FDA, when you can get them behind closed doors, are going to say, well, it's going to put farmers out of business. So it's going to affect our way of life.
Yes.
And the last thing has got to be the casino gambling. I know we're getting close on time, but the casino gambling in New Hampshire, it didn't go away, and it's going to come back. And Lord knows how many times it'll come back. But if you ask me, those are my 3 top stories.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow the snow clouds will clear away and we'll have sunny skies with a high of 32 degrees and lows in the 20s. Saturday we'll have highs in the upper 30s and a low of 25 degrees. Sunday we're expecting a mix of rain and snow with a high of 39 and lows in the 20s. Monday we'll have a high of 30 with lows dropping down to 1 degree. Tuesday, make sure to dress for the cold because highs will drop to the teens with lows around 4 degrees. If you're looking for something fun to do tomorrow, check out the free public skate at the Union Arena in Woodstock, Vermont from 5 to 6 p.m.
Hallie O'Brien here at Seven Springs in Pennsylvania. It's only about an hour east of Pittsburgh and about 3 hours from DC.
Great place to come, and it treats you right. Everybody's great here.
They are the largest ski resort in Pennsylvania with up to 300 skiable acres. They've got 7 nationally ranked terrain parks, 7 springs, 7 parks, my lucky number 7. It's all good. Plus the only Olympic-sized half pipe in the region. Here's what's happening in snow country near you.
Resorts are back to doing what they do best, and that's making snow and grooming with nice sunny days for the holiday week at the slopes. Mount Sunapee has a busy week whipping the trails back into shape. Celebrate New England tradition with sugar on snow at Sunapee Friday, or check out the New Year's Eve celebration next week with fireworks.
Look, my favorite present is underneath the tree. Snow.
It's kind of the most amazing feeling in the world. Like, you have all the freedom to do anything. It feels kind of like you're flying almost.
It is all about fireworks during the holiday week. Okemo lights the sky with a spectacular pyrotechnic display on Saturday night, and Mount Snow has a torchlight parade Sunday night following their fireworks. And on Friday, after a great day of skiing and riding at Stratton, enjoy a live multimedia Beatles experience called All Together Now.
Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you enjoy the slopes and, of course, all the presents you got. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Hallie. Let's take a look at an upcoming girls' ice hockey game. The Hanover Marauders will play a game during their holiday break against the Beekmantown Lady Eagles from New York. The Hanover girls' ice hockey team is currently the New Hampshire state champions, while last year the Lady Eagles were the state champions of New York. The game will take place at the Campion Rink in Hanover at 1:40 p.m. tomorrow, December 27th. This should be an exciting game that will surely test the skills of Hanover.
Thank you for joining us for this Thursday edition of YCN News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycnnow.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from Christine Waite, residential mortgage lender of Ledger Bank. I'm Rose Spillman for YCN, your local view. Good night.